Hello and welcome. This is my very first YouTube channel. I'm Ricky Ferris, also known as Zach Capri. I'm the guy that built the battleship grade Zach Speed Capri that you might have seen. If you haven't seen it, you should look it up. I'll try and drop a video in of it now. There you go. This is my current project, which I'm going to do a build feed on YouTube because I never do. I'm always really bad at videoing. I start, get halfway through, I end up finishing it and not videoing it, and then there it is, so it's always too late. So I'm going to really try and stick to it this time. But with some help from you guys, you know, it'd be easier. Because I don't really know what I'm doing. Most of the time I'm just guessing and a bit of mechanical knowledge behind it, and it normally seems to work. I mean, I do break down a lot, and a lot of times it don't work, but I actually enjoy the build more than the end product. I love breaking things because then I get to fix things. It's got to be a condition or something. I've got to get myself checked out, but until they actually can sort me out, let's play. This is my 1984 Ford Capri, the current one. I've had 7. I've always had Mark IIIs. I'd love a Mark 1, but it's all I've ever been able to get my hand on. This was meant to be a magazine featured car. It was meant to be really clean. And basically it wasn't, as you can tell from the front end, which is no longer there anymore. I've made it detachable and now it lives there. It's now got fiberglass front wings, but it was rotten, like completely rotten, and I had to chop off the front end. Me and my girlfriend did it when we was back from Australia for 6 months, just to get going to a car show, really. It went out twice, and I broke down right outside Silverstone entrance. I had some fuel issues. I won't go too much into that. But it handled brilliantly and it went really well. It had a 2 litre Z-Tech in it. This head, that's all apart from this end of this engine, had a 2 litre Z-Tech in it on bike carbs, and it went pretty well. It wasn't massive power. It was only about 180 horsepower. It went really well, and it's really nicely balanced. Now with all the weight off the front end and the rigidity added, it went really well, and it stops really well. I've got some Mondeo brakes on there, which is quite a common upgrade. Some front coilovers. The back end's completely standard. It's got stiffer springs and adjustable shocks. That's it. That will have to be changed. I'm surprised it hasn't blown up already, to be honest. But then I started building this one for it. This is a 2 litre Z-Tech turbo. As you can see, it's an ST170 bottom end, ARP Conrod bolts, blacktop head, China turbo, custom made exhaust manifold, custom made tailpipe, and it was all just meant to be a bit of fun. I actually built the engine to go into another Zach Speed Capri. The idea was to put that into there, have a bit of fun, fine tune the engine, pull that out, build another Zach Speed Capri. Will it happen? I don't know. But I've been offered now a V8, and it's one of my bucket list V8s. I've played with V8s before, but I've never had one of these. It's a Gen 3 Hemi, 5.7, and that's now going to live in there. Now I've measured it up. It is tight. It's actually so tight that it don't fit. So there's going to be some chopping going on. My custom brake box is going to have to go. The tunnel's going to have to go. Steering rack's probably going to be in the way, definitely. But it just fits between the chassis rails, which are actually standard position of chassis rails. So I just made a jig and duplicated that. It's actually really simple. I'd really like to keep the interior, but obviously the size of the gearbox, it's going to be difficult, and I'm going to be using the NAG1 gearbox, which is actually a Tektronix gearbox. And speaking to a guy from Denmark, he can give me the ability to turn it back into one. And I don't really want flappy paddles, but I got another idea, and we'll see how that pans out. But it's going to be the 5.7 Hemi with an Ag1 with some fancy controls. Going down to the prop shaft. I never make my own prop shafts. It's one of the things I never risk. I normally use a company, but I won't be using them again. They're not called, but they're very close to Shite Shaft Services. I won't use them again because they're all basically a bunch of James Blunts. And they shafted me, pun intended, last time I had one done from them, which was actually on the Zack speed. Going down the motorway, going down the motorway, and it dropped. And thankfully, because it was a full space frame car that I built a hoop in, just in case I ever fell, it wouldn't dig in. And it worked perfectly. Not the prop shaft. It worked perfectly. It catched it and pulled over to the side. Me and my friend were trembling in fear. So we'll be going elsewhere next time. Going to the axle. It's got a Atlas that they come with. Not very strong. Broken many of them before. I will be changing it, but I'd also like to see how it will handle with the Hemi. There's no reason behind it. I just want to see it blow up again, basically. So we'll put a 9-inch or something in there later on, maybe an 8.8, and until that blows up, we're not changing it. I like the wheels. I'd like to keep the wheels. Probably won't suit the thing that I've got now. I don't know. We'll see. But basically, that's just the rundown for the first episode. Bit about me, bit about the car, of what's to come. Unfortunately, I don't have the Hemi here right now. It's actually another lockup, but I'm planning on getting that over today, and then get the angle grinder out and start chopping around. And go from there, really. I can't wait. Hope to see you guys in episode 2. See ya.